Hi, I wanted to talk about something very important that sometimes I feel it's important to mention these things. It's the relationship between Tori and Uke. Sometimes I find that when people practice, they think of Uke as an attacker more than a partner. Aikido has that amazing ability to connect and unite together. So it is a martial art, a very effective martial art, but it has also got this thinking of looking after your partner. That is why when I say attacker, you haven't got that thinking of looking after. When you mention the word attacker, it's more him and against you. So you do whatever you need to do to defend yourself. Now, Aikido has this element of defending yourself, very strong techniques, but it has something a bit more, which is a duty for Tori to look after Uke. So when, for example, you do some techniques and you do shomenuchi, ikkyo, you've got him here. There, strong movement, but I'm thinking of solid Aikido, strong, powerful. At the same time, I know that my movement is very strong and powerful, therefore I look after my Uke. So it's not about bashing him and putting him down on the ground and then he's hurt. You become sensitive, receptive, and you make sure he can take it or she can take it. So a more advanced Uke, you could do the Aikido faster. A beginner, you slow down, and you guide them through. Same with shomenuchi, iriminage. Here, it's a very powerful technique. You guide your partner for the fall. So, in other words, we don't train to scare our partner. We train to get a feel of the center, compression of the hips, feel of a kokyu, and we can train slowing down without losing our feeling of a kokyu. We can do it way faster, but doing faster for someone who hasn't yet attained the level they can take the fall. Then I think we have to be cautious about. And I think this is why I just wanted to say a few words about this, because Aikido has that ability of looking after our partners, make sure we get a good training. And I've mentioned before, but it's not an element of winning and losing. We're practicing, we're feeling the kokyu, and so does Uke. Maybe in Uke, for example, to receiving iriminage, I want to feel the kokyu from my partner. Oh, that's a good kokyu, yes, yes. And then I can receive it and fall. And then it's my job to receive do a good fall. Whether it's be backward and I just fall, or it will be a high back fall. It all depends on the circumstance. But I think it's really important to not forget that when you do Aikido, it's not just Tori doing the technique and we're just learning how to do a pin, how to do all these movements. We need to look after Uke, foremost and more important. And Aikido is full of paradox, from my understanding. One of them, to be strong, you have to be relaxed. relax, and then you let this feeling of the hips going through the power, and that power is way more immense than this power of the muscles, which is limited. So it's full of paradox, because to learn Aikido is not just from Tori's side. Yes, of course you have to do the technique, but you actually learn Aikido more so when you're Uke. When you're receiving it, you learn to receive it, and you learn that if that hand is not onto the ground, you could do something. But if that hand is on the ground, you know that is it. You're stuck. That's how you've got to get there. So I'm always conscious when I do Uke. I want my Uke's hand to be onto the ground before I begin to do another step. Because if I step and his hand is not on the ground, he could sweep my leg. Yes, I can strike knee onto his ribs sideways, but that's not the essence of it. I think is knowing when your partner is off balance. Off balance, then you have that power. And that is the difficult thing about Aikido, is the art of mastering your technique in a way that your partner is taken off balance from start to finish. And you do so without scaring your partner. They're actually embracing it and they're going for it. So there's so many ways of doing techniques of balancing the partner, but if you haven't got a good start and you haven't taken his balance off, then you won't have a good hand. You've got to really have a good foundation, good beginning, and stepping off line, good posture, good hamni, good kokyu. Are you doing training from here, or are you doing training from here? If you're doing the training from here, I'm a big guy. I could do Aikido with physical arms. I could overcome most people, but there would always be one who will be way stronger, and that becomes difficult. And the thing is, if you're using your muscles, you're sending a telegram and your partner will sense what you're about to do. If you don't use your muscles, Chiyokokyu, angle of the hips, with strong connection with the power of the hips, compression, your Aikido is way more powerful. All of a sudden you see the impact you're giving to your partner. Your partner becomes completely at your mercy, balance taken off, and then you realize how powerful your technique becomes, because his balance is taken so rapidly off. And when that happens, then I think it's when you sensing more about looking after your partner, because you don't want to hurt the person. You want to look after the person so we can enjoy the training and continue practicing day after day or every class that you're planning to teach. So it's important to bear that in mind. And the spiritual aspect of Aikido, I think, comes once you have a certain level of, you realize how powerful your Aikido becomes, strong, and therefore you're changing a mindset of being careful. You have a duty, you have a responsibility of looking after your partner. Make sure you're not doing anything that might hurt them badly. And because of these, it changes you as an individual, and that is the beauty of Aikido. All this power movement, nurturing, looking after your partner, and we're not in conflict with one another. It's trying to find a solution where he can't fight. And that is how Aikido works beautifully also, not just in training but outside. How you interact with other people is how you come with a solution that will be a win-win solution for all parties, rather than having this clash. Aikido hasn't got that clash. If he pushes you, you're not going to be pushing back. If he pushes you, you go with the flow. So he's taken off balance, that's the beauty of it. So if he's coming this way, he's taking off balance. So all these movements that happen, and when we learn Aikido with the Bukiwaza, with the weapons, it's purely to get this strong positioning, your hand, hip posture, angle, body posture. If you have a bad posture, you will not get the maximum power you could get from that technique. If you've got a good posture, you can deal with one against multiple attackers. In fact, you could deal with it relatively very economical. Here comes the strike in Menuchi this way. All you need to do is step offline. I'm already dealing with the next one, and I've done a little. So that is the beauty of Aikido. Here comes in Menuchi. We're so preoccupied, how am I going to cope with that? Am I going to step back? Am I going to stride back? Am I going to do this? But somebody could be at the back. That gives you another set of problems. But here, it could either be this way or outside. Switch your hamni. Here comes all these elements, the formulas blending, going in together. So I just wanted to really say a few words about the relationship between Tori and Uke. It's not I do my part, that's Tori, and he's doing his part, and you can feel that when there's no connection, that there's this disengagement between both Tori and Uke. Tori is doing his bit, Uke he's not ready for it, and then suddenly there is no harmony in the way you're receiving a technique. So I think it's important that when you do the technique, you connect with your partner. Same as when you bow, you don't bow just like that. You bow, you connect with your partner, and then ready. That's how the connection begins. And Uke will feel that connection because the readiness is there. In fact, you're putting your body, your mind and spirit all in one, and it straight away engages to a much more focused Aikido as opposed to body and now you're ready. No, you have to be focused from here. Focus. Now you're ready. It's so different. You have that connection, you blend in, finding your wase. And so when you practice with Uke, you've got to find your wase. Even when you're doing Kihon, there is a certain wase. It's a wase of connecting with your partner. That is one thing I wanted to say. So connect with your partner and look after your partner. I hope this video gave you a bit of a good advice, positive advice. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see any more videos.